Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I am a little bit under the weather, but it is not stopping me. We are heading out for a little bit of antique shopping in Davie and Fort Lauderdale. So the first stop today is Cooper City Antique Mall, and I will pick you guys up when I get there.
I see they have a yellow bowl similar to the one that I found in Nashville. I've had this bowl out, the one I got from Nashville, on our kitchen counter, and I've been using it a ton and just leaving it out because it's so pretty. I might get that. And then I see they have proper yellowware here. This one's pretty. Yellowware is so classic, but I'm just avoiding it because I feel that it will look too farmhouse in my kitchen with the unlacquered brass hardware and all of my copper pots. This is really pretty, this ironstone tureen. It looks like it's in really good condition. 45. I like the simplicity of it. I like the topper on it. I might get that. It's a good price, 45. I see this too down here. This really dark brown glazed pot. It almost pulls a little bit red, but it's a really deep brown. I think this would be a great item for fall and winter decor around the house to sort of warm up the space. Pretty. I like the silhouette of these bowls. I really love anything pedestal, especially if it has a simpler silhouette like these. But I wish that they were silver plated. They look to me like they're probably pewter, but they do have a pretty shape to them. This is not quite my style, but I do like the blue and yellow together. It's showing up much brighter on the camera. It's a little more muted in person, but I have been shopping for fall fashion to get in the mood for fall decor, and I've seen that um, butter yellow, blue, and brown color combos together are really going to be trending in fashion for the season, which is probably why I was drawn to the blue and yellow pairing. This is fun if you have more of a contemporary style, or even to mix this contemporary piece in with your more patinaed items. The brand is Mikasa, and it's a little teapot. I just think that those handles are so cute. Here are a set of nesting bowls. They're actually Pottery Barn, but I think that these would be so pretty for fall and winter, or really all year round. But I've been super drawn to this yellow, either like a really mellow yellow or a mustardy color, just for the warmth that it adds. I think that these are really pretty. I recently came across a seller in Europe who makes splatterware, which this reminds me of splatterware, but I've been really interested to buy the white one. It's a white ceramic with sort of a yellowy or mustardy color splatterware. I think that it sort of adds a modern touch, but these remind me of splatterware. I really prefer silver plated to pewter, but this is really nice. This bowl, it has a slight pedestal bottom, sort of an Art Deco design with the hexagon shape to it. There's tons of pewter in here and there's some really good finds, but I just prefer silver plate for that high shine, more polished look against the rest of the patina items in my house. There's a set of 3 of these large glass vases. They have that tortoiseshell look to them, and I think they're really pretty. I like the one in the very back middle. I think that that silhouette's a little nicer, and I feel like these are classic and timeless. They'd go with a lot of different styles. This is pretty. I like the glaze that's on it for like a pinch pot next to the stove with some seasoning salt or even like a flake salt would be nice. I think that that would look good against my veiny white countertops. I see this like a julep cup. It has a monogram, which doesn't bother me a ton, but I don't know, it's not in very good condition. It's pretty dented, but I do always look for julep cups. They make really cute bud vases, just like real simple. I'm always looking for a good, like, apothecary jar for storage and organization because there's really nothing like opening up a bathroom cabinet or something and having it all beautifully displayed, no acrylic, just all beautiful objects. And this one's $9.95. It's not bad. And it has a nice silhouette. I like that. Here is the silver vendor that I always check her stuff. And I see that there's one more of these spoons. This is not the silver that I normally collect. The stuff that I collect is more Art Deco by Johnson Bros, but I do have one of these little spoons. I liked that the spoon part was more squared off, and it looks like it has Lily of the Valley here. She has one more, so I'm gonna grab it since I already have one, but I'm excited to come back and check what she has around the holiday time because that's when she goes back home to New York and comes back with tons of beautiful hotel wear. I just saw these and got excited for a second. They look just like the stuff that I collect, that end. Mine are just a little less pronounced, but it's a full-length spoon, and I don't think that's showing up on camera, but it says Wallingford Co. Those are really pretty. This bowl, it's yellow Fiesta ware, but I love that light yellow color and that it is a pedestal. It's $135, which to me is way too pricey, but it is really pretty. This is nice. I don't think the silhouette is quite right for me, but I like the color combo. I like the texture. It's glazed in the inside, so it would hold water. Sometimes you have to be wary about the ceramic vases because if they're not glazed in the inside and you put water in them, it will make the clay on the bottom of the pot wet again, and sometimes it will transfer onto a tabletop or even damage the vase itself. My eye, this little pedestal bowl. Oh, it's attached to the plate, but from the side profile, it has a really beautiful silhouette that would be nice, but I don't like it attached to the plate. This is a pretty wicker basket. You can see all of the fine weaving details on here. It's definitely one of the better made ones that I've seen, but there's damage inside. If not, it would have been a great find. These are so practical. You can use them for literally anything, and I have been collecting them for my office organization and pantry. I know I wouldn't use this, but this is pretty. I like the material combo of the rattan and chrome together, and it is a wine holder. So you slip the wine in here. Sort of looks like a sled, actually, but I think that's pretty. This booth looks like it's being reorganized, but I thought that this was nice. If you take the lid off, the depth, it's really deep for being small, and that would be really great to put bulbs in for the holiday season. Just take the lid off and then use that around the house. I'm always looking for planters for the holidays because I've been become obsessed with flower bulbs. More splatterware. This looks much prettier than the first set of bowls that I found, but still not quite right for me. I'm not really into splatterware. I've seen a few over the years that I've liked, but it would have to be something that just stopped me in my tracks to actually buy it. It's hard to see scale on camera, but this ironstone bowl has a really simple silhouette and it's absolutely massive. It would be great for serveware over the holiday season. I'm gonna see if I can get it down. I was about to take the picture out of here so that I could get this down, and then I realized that it has that like orangey color stripe on the inside of the lip and decided that is a no.
All right, it is way too hot for that sweater. I just swung by the house and ate some lunch. Now I am heading to Jasper Cane and Oddballs Thrift, which are right next to each other. And there's another one right in the middle of those two that I might stop by also, but I cannot remember the name. It's like 50s, 60s, and 70s or something like that. They have really different things, collectible things. It's definitely more expensive, but they have really interesting things in there. So I will pick you guys up once I get there.
This is Jasper Cane. I haven't been here in a while, and it looks like they have tons of new stuff, which is always super fun. Sometimes if you come too often, there's a lot of the same stuff here. These are super cool. Sort of reminds me of like Kelly Wearstler. I also love crushed velvet. Believe it or not, I am not even pregnant yet. We're not even trying yet, but I am already planning the nursery because I collect over time and I collect slow. And I'm looking at some velvet and mohair fabrics, sort of like this, but in a yellow, light yellow, and mustardy yellow color because I'm thinking to lime wash the walls in like a gray blue, actually, sort of like this color. And I think that the yellow will be a nice contrast. Here's a pretty yellow color, but I don't really like that lamp. I'm not sure what it is that's throwing me off because I do like the mellow yellow ceramic and the brass base. I like that combo, but I don't love this lamp. And I'm not a huge fan of a drum lampshade. Sometimes you need one depending on the style of the base, but these are pretty mother of pearl knives. They always have a really good selection of chairs back here, just like random chairs, sometimes in a set, sometimes no. Actually, this is the section that the chair in my master bathroom is from. You can see that dark wood, bent wood chair up there with the rattan base. If you had Palm Beach style, this one would actually be pretty. Sort of a bamboo base, painted white, it looks like, and then that beautiful floral upholstery. They also have these, which are bamboo foldable chairs. It looks like there's a set of them, but that's always really nice for entertaining to have some pretty foldable chairs like that, where you can have extra seating, but the chairs are also beautiful and they go with your decor. Here is like exactly the color and type of upholstery fabric that I am looking for that's on the mood board for the nursery. This is nice for serveware. It has quite high sides and just really straight edge. I think that's pretty. It would go with a lot of different types of decor. I really like actually these wicker pendants too. I don't love the chrome on the top. I don't know why. It just sort of, that chrome in particular looks a little bit cheap. But these are giant shades, and I see that there's another one over there. Those would be really pretty. They have a little bit of like a reddish tone to them. They're definitely much more warm than a lot of rattan and wicker that you see, but they could add some really pretty texture to space for sure. This smoked glass vase is pretty. I like the silhouette of that. I'm always looking for a good shape, a good silhouette. And here there's white slip cover couches, which for South Florida are definitely classic, I would say. And they always have tons of unique ceramics. Every time I come in here, I have found some really, really good ceramics in here. This is a really pretty and interesting blue color, and I love the silhouette of that. It actually looks like it would be super comfy. I love that. I don't have anywhere to put it, but I really like that. These lights are super cool. That squared off cube shape, and I love the combination in the materials. They let off like a really soft glow. Those are super cool. I think interesting lighting can just add so much to a space. Wow. I just found this too. Really pretty. I love the soft glow. It's maybe a little too soft. I would need to see it like in a room with the lights off, but I wonder if it would be compatible with like a little bit of a stronger bulb. It says it is a, oof, Barbini lamp, 1200, but really, really pretty piece. I would love to find a cool sculptural glowy light like that for the nursery. Here's another shelf filled with all sorts of cool objects. I think this is really pretty. This bowl, brass bowl, cubist brass bowl, a little pricey, but really pretty. I also think this is cool for serveware. And I also really like these floral candlestick holders. Good price too. 26 is a cool, real simple but interesting with that black line and also the indented shape would be a pretty vase. Oh, again, same brand as that little lamp that we just saw. Pretty. This right at the entrance is also very cool. It's not something that I would necessarily put in my house, but I think it is a cool sculptural piece. It's actually like a little shelving unit that opens, and it reminds me of something that Silverline Design would have. It's a vintage seller on Etsy, and I've seen her have some interesting like triangular storage pieces like that, sort of like little cabinets. These have been in here for a long time, but I just think they are so cool. I'm not sold on them. I don't really think that I have anywhere in the house that they would look good, but they're beautiful. They're leather and uh acrylic lucite base, and I think that the color is very warm and beautiful, sort of that color that I have been talking about and gravitating towards. This piece of photography has also been in here for quite some time, but I think it's a really pretty one. I love the muted colors. It sort of looks a little bit like filmy because of that. It has that sort of yellowy hue to it, and it's only $100, which I think is great for something that scale. Oh, this is very cool. This oil lamp. Look at the base on it. lucite like that is so cool. I'm really drawn to oil lamps like this for the holidays. I think they're very cool for like Christmas. This one's 79, but I've never seen anything like it. It's much more modern with that base on it like that. This is sort of their back storage room, but this caught my eye. This brass floor lamp. I often get asked questions or have comments on the chrome floor lamp that's in my living room that gives the uplighting, and this one would definitely give that same effect. It actually has a very beautiful silhouette there on the top, and it's only 60. I see there's a little bit of like scratching or pitting on the base, but overall is quite a beautiful piece. I am so tempted by this picnic basket. It looks super hardy, super well made. Um, oh, that for me, I wish that each side flapped up, but I am such a lover of a beach picnic, and I always dream about rolling up to the beach for a picnic with a cute basket like this filled with real plates and food and a bottle of wine. I just don't know if it's actually practical and I would end up using it, but super nice. And this, I also see, I bought one of these and then broke it in our move. But one of these trays to be able to like serve someone sick in bed or whatever. I feel like it's just a beautiful and practical item. This one is also not in great condition, but I do have my eye out for a new one, like I said, because I bought one, but these little handles broke in the move. I also saw This Oak House, Annie Meyershire on Instagram. Her handle is actually This Oak House, but she had one of these painted off white, like the one that I have, and had a piece of glass in here. She actually ended up laying, I think it was a scrap of her Fortuny fabric, and then putting the glass over the top. So it added a pop of color and a nice print. It's a great way to use some expensive scraps of fabric. This is interesting. It sort of gives that brutalist feel. Um, could be cool as like a little storage piece on a desk. If it had higher sides, I would say you could use it as a silverware caddy, but that's pretty, very pretty. I have quite a few dark wood, like primitive pieces, but this one is a wood plate. It is 12 bucks. I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong. I'm tempted, but it's really great. You can corral a couple of items on here as a catch-all. Put a candle, an object, maybe a little bowl of some kind, but it is just a really great styling piece. Okay, we have made it through Jasper Cane. I am going to head out and walk down the street to Oddballs. Okay, we are at Oddballs. The entrance is sort of hidden. You walk back through here and then into the store. This is one of those places that you really have to dig, but I found a lot of um, great little objects in here before. I have a vase with a similar shape to this, sort of that Grecian style. I'm not a huge fan of the green and white together like this. Mine is all white, but the silhouette is such a statement. Okay, this is just down the street. This is Decorative Arts and Fine Antiques. The owner's name is Craig, and this is my absolute favorite. This is cool. Sort of gives like Noguchi vibes, except more modern with those lines. Not sure what this is. Let's see. This is really nice. This tall, and look how pretty the marble is on top. This is the best antique store by far in my area. Look at the gorgeous Murano lighting. The furniture is to die for. Um, Craig and his family have such a good eye. Between those doors over there is Abington Auctions. They do live auctions. You can find them on the auction websites and definitely worth stopping by. This is where a ton of my stuff is from. This is pretty with the sort of like caging, like chicken wire almost, is just really different. And this is a really cool architectural light. I like that too.
Okay, guys, it has been a couple days since we went antique shopping together. I got busy. I got my hair done for the first time in a year and a half, got it dyed for the first time in a year and a half, and we have a couple of goodies. So, from Cooper City Antique Mall, I bought this brown glazed pot. It has a nice thick lip on it, and it's pretty deep. You can't really tell on here, but there is a little bit of like a reddish brown hue to it. And I think that this is going to be really nice in fall and winter to plant floral bulbs in there. I planted floral bulbs for the first time last year in maybe the end of October or beginning of November for Christmas and absolutely fell in love. So that was so much fun to do during the holiday season and I can't wait to do it again. But I needed better pots and like more diverse pots. Last time all of my pots ended up being like a cream color and there were certain areas in the house that I really wanted a little bit more dimension. So I thought that this was perfect and it was like 30 bucks. So a little pricey, but not too bad. You could also use this as a fruit bowl on the counter. Really, I could use this all year round. I recently came across the houseplant. I guess it doesn't have to be a houseplant, but maiden ferns. And they look like the little green leaves look lacy and they're so delicate and I absolutely fell in love with them. So I've been thinking about, I have a little ledge over here. I know you can't see it, but also maybe after the holiday season, putting a maiden fern in there and putting it in the little corner there since we have good lighting due to that window. All right, and just one more thing I got, let me show you. I have this authentic sheepskin rug. It's the biggest one that I have found in person. Um, I don't know, it's probably 5.5 feet. The sheepskin rugs in general, they're a little bit rustic for my taste. I love rustic things, but I like a good balance between rustic and polish. I have had a couple of sheepskin rugs throughout the years, and the small ones I've liked to like put them next to the bathtub so you know you have something like fuzzy on your feet. I also have put them on each side of the bed before so that when you get out of bed you have something like warm and fuzzy on your feet. This bigger one I had actually, for a couple years, I've been thinking about one day trying to find a sheepskin runner and putting it for fall and winter on a bench seat at a dining room, which now we have a big bench at our eat-in kitchen at the dining room table. And I feel like that's just a way to really like warm up the space and make it feel much more festive for the cozy season. That one is going to be too wide for that. So essentially, I would have to deconstruct it, cutting it in half, which I really don't want to do. So I'm thinking instead we could either put it under the dining room table if the scale is correct. I'm going to have to play with that. Or I'm going to save it for the upstairs guest bedroom, the one that will eventually become a nursery, because I have now planned out the entire mood board for the nursery, and that fits in well with the aesthetic. So I guess I also have a couple questions for you guys. So I am in the works of doing my fall and winter home styling preparation. So I have bought a couple of items, and I also have curated sort of mood boards and things. And if you guys have any interest in seeing that, please let me know below, because I'm more than happy to film a video for that. And when some of these pieces do come in, I will definitely show you guys what I ended up purchasing. But I curate way more than what I actually purchase. So if you would like the curation, please let me know. And that is all we have for right now. If you made it this far in the video, please like this video and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week for another one. Bye.